Hello friends, welcome back to channel. So today we will discussing about interview question and answer and the better way of giving the answer in Linux interviews. So let's move further and read out our first question. What is root user? So root user is the system administrative account, or you can say super user or privileged user. This user is created at the time of OS installation and it is having UID of 0. This user root is having full permission and privilege to the file system, directories and all the services. By default, SSH for root login is enabled, but for the security purposes, in every organization we are disabling the root login via SSH. We are using root login only for single user mode or password recovery when system is crashed or something. Other than that, we are using sudo access to become a root user. What is swap? So swap space is a space created on a file system which is using as a RAM. So if you are running a high intensive job on a RAM and your physical memory is getting consumed and you want some space, so that time swap is coming in a picture. So your active process is running in a RAM and your non-active process is running on a swap space. So it's keep on swapping between physical memory and a virtual memory. Okay, RAM and a swap. So swap is usually configured during the operating system installation, but you can install afterwards, okay, using mkswap or swap on command. Swap space should be twice of your RAM. If you are having RAM of 2 GB, swap should be 4 GB. If you are RAM of 6 GB, you should be having swap space of 12 GB. But what if you are having a swap RAM of 128 GB? Then 64 GB of swap is good enough. Okay, so if you are having a swap space of 64 GB and if you are dividing that 64 GB in different disks, that will be like increasing your performance, because system is using multiple buses on sending a data on a multiple disk. So if you are dividing your swap in different disks, that will be a great option. Okay, if your swap space is full and system is still trying to swap, so your active process will not work and system will get hung. So that's why you should have all the time free space available in a swap. So how to check a swap? free-h is a command to check the swap. For making a swap, mkfs, you can create a swap file or swap directory or a swap partition itself, okay, according to your need. There are multiple options and you can mount it in fstab file, so it will become permanent. Now, what is swappiness? So swappiness is a kernel parameter which tells the system how much percentage of the swap you have to use, like how much time you have to switch between your RAM and a swap. Like one program is running on a Linux and it's keep on switching between RAM and swap, so it will take more time to consume because it's more in transit. Okay, so that's how we have to define the swappiness, that how much swap they have to consume or how much time they have to use the swap. So swappiness, the higher value, the higher increase, higher value increase the swap space uses, lower value decrease the swap space uses. If we are having value of swappiness is 30, then it is using more. If we are having a swappiness value of 10, that it is using less swap. Okay, that swappiness we have to define in etc systemctl.conf file, or you can define systemctl vm swappiness equal to whatever value you want to define. VM swappiness tell the system that this much time you have to switch between swappiness and this and how much you can consume it. They can consume complete swap, but is defined if this much load is there, then only you have to use 10%, 20%, 30%. Okay. Next question, how do you mount and unmount a file system? So everybody will say we'll do mount command, what to mount, where to mount in this thing. No. First identify the partition, okay, using fdisk or lsblk command, like sdb you got. Then check on which directory you have to mount. Is that directory created? If it is not created, using mkdir command, create that thing. Finally, run the command mount the partition sda/sda, okay, /dev sda mount point /mnt, and run this command. This file system get mounted. You can check in df-h but it is not permanent. It is not having entry in a fstab file. It is having entry in a mtab file. To make it permanent, we have to make entry in fstab file, which is having 5 parameter. Okay, what to mount, like /dev sda or cb, where to mount /mnt, file system type ext4, ext3, swap or whatever, mount option, default read only, read write, then dump command and the fsck command like 00. Okay, you must be clear with that. To unmount this, you can do umount /mnt or umount /dev sda sdb, whatever you are having. And if it is a swap file system, then you have to do swap off of that file removed from fstab and then delete it. Next question, how would you check the disk space uses? First we will check df-h. Okay, and we look how much which file is consuming most of the space. If df-h is not able to see anything and still alert is active, then you should go with the du-sh, because what happens sometime, once we delete the file, it's get deleted from the file system but still in a memory. Okay, so that will become deleted file in a memory which is consuming space, which is not showing in your df-h, but in du-h you will able to see they are still present. Okay, which is due to which your alert is active. So to delete those things, you have to go check like lsos pipe grep deleted, you will get the file name. From there you can go and check the deleted file. So let's see example, lsof pipe grep deleted. See, this file got deleted from the system. Okay, it's not showing in a df-h, but du-h is showing. So that's how it is consumed some space in the system. So for this you have to reboot it, or else what you can do, lsof not hyphen, here you will get data, the command, okay, process id, username, this is fd, okay, type, this is device, size, inode, and the name of the file. You got it? Okay, now if you want to delete this thing from a memory, how we will delete it? So we are having echo greater than symbol, we will override proc PID. What is the PID? 779. We are having proc 799. Oh, 779. Then FD and the FD number. So deleted. We are having this thing, and here it is having RD of 0. Okay. Sometime it will get clear if it is related to some application, but this is related to system, so it is not getting deleted. Still showing 799 on this, but this command I will give you in the description, so you can do it yourself whenever you are having this problem. Next question is, what is rsync and why we use it? So rsync is a command which helps to synchronize and transfer the data between two files or directory in the same system or a remote system over a network. The basic rsync command is rsync, source, and the destination. But why we are using rsync? Why we are not using the copy? So if you start copy file between two directory, so every time you do copy source and direct destination, it will copy every time. It is not checking what source is having a destination. What it will do, it will take the file from the source and dump into a destination. But rsync is a bit smart. What rsync is doing, if first time it will copy and paste on a directory, destination directory, but next time if there is no changes on the source file, it won't initiate any process. If it finds some changes in the source file and destination file is not having that much updated, so then only it will start the process and sync it. Second thing, you can enable the logs of rsync, and rsync work with on a network also. So how the rsync command? Rsync -avz source and destination. What is this option avz? A for attributes, means all the attributes are preserved, permission, everything. V for verbose, Z for zip. Okay. How to create a user with a defined UID? So you will say user add -u UID, and no. First go check that UID is free or not using id and the that command. Like if you have to use id 5001 is free, no such user, then you can create it. User add -u 5001 and the username. And if I want to create a UID and a GID or a particular system, so in that case we have to check both UID is present or not, free or not, GID is free or not. First create a group using that GID, then create a user. Okay, you can create a user without home directory using -M and that username. Okay, next question, what is proc? So proc is a virtual file system which is holding all the system running process information, is created directly, okay, dynamically at the time of system boot and mounted on a /proc. Whenever system got rebooted, the data on /proc get flushed off. So it's a virtual file system. It is containing all the process running on a system, kernel parameter, everything. Okay, when you are running top or free command, is taking a data from proc file system like proc mem info or proc cpu info command. If you run, you will get those data. /proc partition is not taking any of the space. See, df-h/proc, it will say size 0. Okay, every time is size 0. And if you go under proc, every file's timestamp is the current timestamp and size is 0. So it is keep on updating. It's just getting runtime data. So that's the /proc. What is absolute path and a relative path? The path start with slash, meaning start slash, it is absolute path. If it is not starting with slash, that is a relative path. But what is the basic difference? Absolute path you can use in any of the location. If you are sitting on a temp, you can run /etc/config network script. You will reach to that destination because you are giving absolute path which is starting with slash. If you are sitting in a temp and you are giving sysconfig network, that will not work because you are sitting in a temp and that destination thing you are giving is related to that particular location. Okay, so absolute path start from /root, that top of the directory of that slash. Okay, so that is absolute path. So how we are working, if you are running any command, so we'll do where is wall command. So this is the absolute path, user bin wall. If you are using wall, this is not, this is relative. How to check service status in Linux? So that is very simple. If you want to check system services, so what you'll do, systemctl status ntpd daemon is running. If you want to start, whatever you want to do, you can perform it. Okay, check is it enable, so means is underscore enable, means it is enable for a after reboot it will come up or not. If it is not enabled, what you can do, systemctl enable ntpd. So that's how you can check it is enabled or not. And there is a major difference, systemctl. Okay, first we'll check ps-ef pipe grep ntpd. Okay, this is having PID of this thing 3360. If I do systemctl reload ntpd, okay, it failed because the reload is not there. But we have to do restart. So now if you see, PID got changed. So that's the basic difference between reload and restart. If some service is allowing you to reload, then it will reload the configuration file, the process ID will not change. If you are giving restart, it will go down and come up again and PID will get changed. Okay, what is the difference between process and a daemon? Okay, so a process is a executing program running by a system in a foreground or background. It depends on a system or another process of the system. A daemon is a background process which run independently of user session. It does not require any active user session. If there is no active user, then also daemon will work, like ntpd what we are doing. Go to next page. What is sudo? So sudo is a short form of super user 2, which allow to run command on the behalf of system user with the system privileges. Like normal user is not having privilege to run every command and go to every location, and we cannot give root user ID and password to everyone. So for that we are having a sudo. Using sudo, that particular user will get perform some task on the behalf of root. For giving the sudo rights, we are having file / etc sudoers. Whenever you are trying to edit a file, vi / okay, location of the file ls-i/etc sudoers. So every time you want to run or edit file, use vi sudo. Don't run vi / etc sudoers. There's a basic difference. If you run vi sudo and edit the file, and if you made some configuration changes, or if your syntax is not correct, vi sudo will give you warning before it gets saved, because once the file gets saved with the wrong syntax, it will get corrupted. No user will able to access sudo till the file get corrected. And as you know, in root, in a corporate, root login is disabled, so we have to go down times, go in a single user mode, change the password, or else we have to go back for a root password, then log into a console and then revert it back if you have taken a valid backup. So that's how use vi sudo every time. And if you see, I have given Amit user all command permission with a no password, okay, and Kumar can run only shutdown and reboot command with no password. So what that means, so if I use cd Amit, so I become an Amit user, and if I want to do sudo su-, I can able to become root user without any password. Okay, same we'll do with the Kumar user. So su-kumer. Now we'll try to switch. See, it's asking password of Kumar user. That's how you can define a particular user for a particular command, a particular user for all the commands, with a password, without password. What is umask? Okay, interesting thing. Umask is a value which check by default what permission of a file and directory should have. Whenever we are creating a file or directory, we are not giving any permission, but by default some permission are getting assigned to that file or directory because of umask. You can set umask to root and non-root user both. For a particular user also you can set. The default mask of a non-root user is 002, changing the folder permission to 755 and a file permission of 664. Okay, non-root user is having those files, and the default mask for the root user is 022, changing the file permission to 7, or the folder permission is to 755 and a file permission is 644. So how umask is working? So let me open calculator to understand this thing. So we are saying the default mask for root user is 002, and maximum permission we are having on like 777. That's the maximum permission we are having, and 002 if we want to minus 775, and this is the default non-root permission of a directory. Okay, let me show you in a Linux server screen. So we are having here ls7ld ds1. So the default permission is read, write, execute 755, and so what should be the umask? Umask is 022. If you minus 777, you will get 755. So that's how umask is designing the default permission of file and directory which is getting created in system. And where we are having umask value, you can set umask 002 like this. Okay, or you can check umask current value like this. But these are the temporary. For permanent, you can go to vi/etc/rc, and here you have to search for a umask. So you will get this logic. If UID is greater than 199 and group ID and the user ID is the same, then only it should have this permission. So from here you can set UID of any user, umask. So what is SSH? SSH is a secure shell. Okay, it's a protocol to connect to a system from one system to another system. Like we are having this system. If I want to do SSH 192.168.1.105, so I will connect to this system. Okay, I have to get password. I got connected. So SSH is for secure shell, and so as you can see, I have used SSH and a password IP. So it is taking me to root user. But if I type if I want to give a username sh hyphen this root and the password of this Amit user, we are able to log in as a Amit user. So this is how you can define. But if you want some logs, so sh hyphen vvvv or 2 times v and the Amit user and the IP address, then you will get multiple logs. So to debug it, you can use sh hyphen vv. 4 times v is the maximum one. How to schedule a job in Linux? So we are using cron to schedule a job. So we are using cronjob to schedule a job. Okay, this cron is setting in vi/etc cron tab file, where we are defining there are 5 parameter: minute, hour, day of the month, day of the week. This is the basic syntax. So if I want to run a job of cronjob, so what we have to do, cron tab -l to list the current cron job. If there is no cron job, we have to edit that file. Now I want to run every minute, every hour, okay, every day, every week, and like every minute, every hour, every day, every month, and every month of the week. So 5 is there, and what do I have to do? Wall, and I want to say hi. And if I save this, every minute one cron tab will hit wall command. Okay, so this is every minute. See it's got, but where this command got saved, it is saved in where spool cron root. You're able to see. Okay, this is the perfect location. And if I would say run this every 5 minute of interval, then what you have to do, /5. Most of these people will be thinking why we are not giving like 5 here. If you give 5, so it will work like 11, 5, 12, 5, 1, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, not every 5. So then */5, then only it will work every 5 minute of interval. It will hit wall command. I think we have completed all the questions. If you have any question, any query, use the comment box. I will give most of the interview questions, answer, and details video on this question what we have asked in the description box. If I miss any, please use the comment box to show me the detail. I will give the answer of your question. Till then, keep learning. Bye bye.